And it certainly feeds into what a lot of people believe about FBI interrogations, that somehow there's always an angle. And to see it written out there, I have to tell you, Pete, just in general, it feeds a very bad stereotype of the FBI.
So this is the key to what was unsealed and given to the lawyers for Michael Flynn. This is a handwritten note. We're not sure who it's by. We think we know who it's by, but we're not positive, so we're not going to say. Others have speculated about it. But it's notes that appear to be from a meeting, sort of strategizing what's going to be our approach with this Flynn interview. And it talks about, for example, should we show him the evidence that we have that he talked to the Russian ambassador? And remember, that's what Flynn pleaded guilty to lying about. He admitted that when he talked to the FBI in January, shortly after becoming the national security advisor in the brand new Trump administration, that he lied to the FBI by falsely denying that he had a couple of conversations with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. during the transition. He said he didn't. The government said he did and had documentary evidence of it. So this is a strategy note about how are we going to approach it. Should we show him the evidence that we have, that kind of thing. And then you see this thing of what's our goal. Right. But at the same time, there's also in this note things that cut the other way. Our goal is to resolve the case. Our goal is to determine if Mike Flynn is going to tell the truth about his relationship with the Russians. If we're seen as playing games, the White House will be furious, it says at one point. We have to protect our institution for not playing games. But I take your point. I mean, to see that in a note is disturbing. Now, I'll say at the same time that I've talked to some former prosecutors about what they make of this, and they said, yeah, that is a dumb thing to say in a note, but that oftentimes agents will say, look, we know that this guy violated the law. We have the evidence. So if we get him to tell the truth, he admits to it. It's a confession. If we get him to lie, then we can charge him with lying about it. So that you're right. That's the way they often think about these interviews.
But big picture, Pete, and I think that's gotten lost here. It appears Michael Flynn did do something wrong, correct? I mean, it doesn't cover up whether he did something wrong. The question is, how did the government decide to surface that surface that information to prove he did something wrong?
Well, don't take my word for it. Take Michael Flynn's word for it. He admitted to lying to the FBI. So we have that. Now, his lawyer, he has a new legal team now, and their approach now is that he was somehow tricked into doing this. Yeah. That's what they have to try to persuade the federal judge here, Emmett Sullivan. Remember, this is someone who has been around Washington a long time, head of Army military intelligence, certainly was no babe in the woods about this. But, you know, Chuck, I think maybe you in the setup here really are getting to the main point here. It seems like in one sense, the audience is the president angling for a pardon.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.